you this. So, how long have we been working together now, roughly? A few years, isn't it?
3 years.
A while, yeah.
2-3 years.
So when you first came to me, what was it you were like struggling with? What was it you wanted help with?
Sort of knowing what to do in the gym to get what I wanted to achieve goal-wise. I just kind of did little exercises but didn't really know what was the right thing to be doing. Yeah.
And what was your like goals? What was it you were like wanting to achieve when you first came to me?
Lose a little bit of weight and then tone up as well.
Yeah. And like, what do you think you've learned like since we've been working together? Either like in the gym or out the gym, or anything about like mindset or anything specific?
To just go rather than come up with excuses as to not to go.
Yeah.
And sort of to do, like, you're better off doing like so many good reps than just doing loads and loads and having like the wrong form or the wrong technique. So you're better off to do less but properly than do just loads and do them wrong.
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of people do like what I call junk volume. So I think a lot of people don't realise while we're toning, they think you've got to do high reps. They think that like, you know, you've got to do hundreds of exercises and you just keep going and going and going and going at a really light way. But actually, like for toning, it's good to do like less reps and like you said, and like pushing closer to failure, because I think a lot of people will finish a set, and I think you can testify to this. You'll finish and go, oh, that was pleasant, instead of being like, oh my god, that was a struggle. So I think knowing like how to gauge your intensity, like when you're doing enough, when you're pushing hard enough, and if it's actually effective. What progress do you think you've made in the time that we've worked together?
I've definitely lost weight, so that was good. I feel more confident in trying on and buying clothes and going out and things, and yeah, definitely.
What about in terms of the gym? Obviously you mentioned about like just going, not making excuses, make yourself accountable, and also doing less reps. Is there anything else you've learned about any like specific exercises or like structure of working out or anything like that?
I would say I've got better at actually going and not being nervous about going or having anxiety about going to the gym, because no one actually cares what you're doing, but I used to think everyone did.
And I think that's a massive breakthrough for you, because I think one of your biggest obstacles was like most women, like mine was as well in the beginning, like really bad gym anxiety, and that's obviously still a bit of a challenge for you, but you've definitely made some really good headway on like just trying to kind of get on with it. What do you think was a turning point for you where you were like, do you know what, I just need to like suck it up and push through the discomfort?
I just kept going.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you just get used to it, and you don't care.
What do you think was the point where you realised like, come on Ellis, I just need to like get on with it and stop like being afraid and just need to like do it even though I'm scared to do it? Was there anything specific that you were thinking in your head, or anything that happened that made you go, right, it's time for me to overcome this fear now?
No, I would just say that the more I went, the more I realised that everyone is just doing the same thing, just working on themselves. So why wouldn't you do the same? So just to go.
Do you think it was a mix of training with me and training with your friends?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And obviously having that comfort blanket, and while you were there feeling more comfortable, you were looking around and you were like, actually no one's actually looking at me.
No, and also then knowing what to do, rather than just walking into a gym and just seeing like, oh, that machine's free, so I'll go do it.
Yeah.
Sort of having like a slight plan and knowing that, okay, if that machine was free or not free, I could do the same sort of exercise but with dumbbells, or just giving like alternative ways of doing the same thing, so that I wasn't like just stuck and just walking on the treadmill waiting for something to become free that I knew what to do on. Yeah,
definitely. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? If you know, like if you go in and you've got a plan, but like you're like, oh, my PT's only given me these 5 exercises, she hasn't given me an alternative.
Yeah.
If that machine or barbell's not free, you're like, oh crap, what am I going to do now? But if you know, like, oh, I've got 4 of the exercises I could do, or you know you can switch the order, like you just feel a bit more confident, like you're not going to be stuck waiting, you could just get on with it.
Definitely switch the order a few times to make it fit in with what was free, or you know, where there was space. And rather than going in and panicking, definitely helped having the sort of plan made out for me.
And what about like, obviously we've been together a while, you know, some people like sign up with a PT, which, you know, of course people have done with me before, and after a month, 2 or 3 months, they're like, you know, not really worth it, gonna give up. What do you think is like the reason why you've stayed with me so long? What was the point where you realised, like, do you know what, actually, yeah, this is worth it, I'm gonna stay with Roxy for longer, like, I'm enjoying it? What do you think it was when you realised
Well, I
it was
really
a good
enjoyed
investment?
the sessions.
Yeah.
It was always good fun. And I think that's important as well. Like, you want to feel like you're having fun, not happy with it.
Yeah.
And then also just the advice you were given and sort of doing the different machines, different exercises, or not knowing what to do was definitely helping me to then be able to get to a point where I feel like I could do it on my own, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, so just the advice and the funness of it all. We always had good chats.
Yeah,
So it was always good.
yeah, me too, definitely. And do you remember, like, obviously when you first started, you're thinking, okay, I'm spending a fair bit of money here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's quite a thing, isn't it? You're like, oh my god, is it going to
a
be
big
worth
sign-up.
it?
Yeah.
Like, is it, this is quite a big commitment, and it's interesting, like, in the beginning you might have, and I'm sure a lot of people when they start on something like this, they're thinking, oh, I don't know if it's going to be worth the money.
Yeah.
Like, maybe after a couple of months I'll just like pack it in and we'll carry on. But it's interesting, like, there must be a point where you just think, oh, do you know what, actually this is worth the money, like, yeah, I'm going to keep paying this, like, this is a good investment.
Yeah, definitely did, because just like the advice, even with like food and stuff, like outside of the gym, like meals, and getting me, although I wasn't very good at it, but trying to track my food was just something I hadn't really thought of doing before. I wasn't very good at doing it, and I've tried to get better, but
it's an ongoing process.
It's an
isn't it?
ongoing thing. I'm getting better at it, so yeah.
And what about, like, when you started with me, did you have any concerns, like, where you were like, because obviously, like, when you start doing something, you think, oh my god, is it going to be worth it? What's it going to be like? Is it going to be awful? Are we going to, like, not click and stuff? Did you, like, what concerns did you have before we started about working together? Were there any, like, things you were worried about?
I don't know. I don't think
Like,
so.
were you worried I was going to, like, kill you in the gym and you were going to be like, oh my god, Roxy, this is too hard, I just can't do it, she's making me do too much hard
I suppose
stuff.
potentially, like, coming from not really doing a lot of gym sessions at all to maybe like one or two every 1 to 2 weeks, to then having like a session every 2 weeks, then also trying to make my own progress in the gym myself. I did think, like, oh, this is going to be a lot, because just going from doing nothing and also not knowing what we're doing to then working out properly is a big change. So I'd say, maybe being like a little bit more tired, or just thinking, like, oh my god, she's killed me again, I've got to drive home, my legs don't work.
Were you worried that I was going to make you do things that were, like, way too advanced for you, and that you were going to, like, or I was going to kill you off so bad that you were going to be like, oh my god, that was too
No,
much,
I don't think
again.
so, because I think you're quite good at picking up at what level people are at.
Yeah.
Even from like the first like maybe 1 to 2 sessions, you could tell what I could probably do or what I can do, and I feel like you're quite good at sort of not giving me too much, or if it was too much I would just say, and then you would make it easier, or sort of adapt it so that I could then do it if I was if I had any aches or pains or anything.
Yeah. And what would you say to, like, other people if they're a bit, like, nervous, they're thinking about maybe signing up with me or getting a PT and they're a bit nervous, what would you say to them?
Just give it a go.
Yeah.
It might work out.
You never know, you might like it.
You might like it. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't try anything. That's what I've learned.
It's true. And then, like, sometimes it's a bit scary, isn't it? Because, like I said, part with, like, big chunk of your cash is always like, oh my god, is it going to be worth it? Like, am I going to get my money's worth? Am I going to see any, like, return on my investment? But like you said, worst case scenario, do it for a couple of months and then you're like, it's not for me or whatever.
It's not, you can stop at any time.
Yeah.
Or keep going, whatever you want.
Whatever floats your boat.
It's all good.
Cool, thanks.